Hello Chamber members, it's Thursday, April the 2nd, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the Paycheck Protection Program. So the intent of this program is to provide funds to small businesses to help keep your payroll intact for an 8-week period. Now here's the important part. The loans will be forgiven if the proceeds are used to cover payroll costs, rent, utilities, interest on mortgages over this 8-week period, and if you maintain your employee count and compensation levels. So who is eligible for these loans? All businesses with fewer than 500 employees. That's nonprofits, veterans organizations, sole proprietors, self-employed, individual contractors. If you have more than 500 employees, please don't assume that you don't qualify. I would encourage you to double check the SBA guidelines for your category of business because you still may be eligible. How do you qualify? Well, you're going to need a good faith certification that the loan is necessary for your ongoing operations, that the funds will be used to retain your workers, and that the approved expenses that are noted in the application, and that from February 15th of this year through December 31st of this year, that you're not receiving loan proceeds from another program that will cover these same costs. There's no double dipping allowed. And that you had to be in operation on February the 15th, 2020 and paying employees. Another tip that was shared with me, don't not apply because you have cash in the bank. There's so much uncertainty in the market right now, and a lot can happen between now and June 30th, and this may still be a great option for you. So how much can you borrow? Well, the loans will be made by local banks and credit unions that are approved lenders through the SBA as 7A lenders. So check with the bank or the credit union that you have an established relationship with and see if they are participating in this program. And if you need any assistance, please contact us here at the Chamber of Commerce and we can point you in the right direction. So the amount that you can borrow is a formula. You'll need to go back to February of 2019 through June of 2019 and calculate your average monthly payroll and multiply by 2.5. If you were not open during that time period, you will use the average payroll from January 2020 and February 2020 of this year. If your average monthly payroll is over $10 million, you will be capped at the $10 million loan. Payroll costs are also capped at $100,000 annualized for each employee, meaning if you have an employee that makes over $100,000, only that first $100,000 can be used in the calculation to determine the amount that you can borrow. So what are the approved uses for the loan proceeds? Payroll costs, your group health care benefits, rent, utilities, and interest on mortgage. If you use the loan for items outside of this list, that portion will need to be repaid. And one other item to note, and again it has to do with the employees that make over $100,000, only the prorated portion of that time period for the first $100,000 can be repaid out of this loan. So what are some other considerations? Your loan forgiveness will be reduced if you decrease your FTE headcount over this time period. If you decrease salaries by more than 25%, this could also reduce your full loan forgiveness amount. You have until June 30th to restore your full-time employee and salary levels. You're not required to have collateral or a personal guarantee. There's no certification that you can get credit elsewhere for this loan. If the entire loan is not forgiven, the unforgiven part is to be paid back over no more than 2 years at 0.5% interest, and there are no prepayment penalties. But you'll have to apply for the forgiveness. It is not automatic. Therefore, you'll need to keep close track of these expenses that are under the approved uses. So one idea that I heard of was to maybe open a separate bank account with the loan proceeds and pay all of the approved expenses out of that. So I have included the application and several other information sheets with this video. Tomorrow, Friday, April the 3rd is the first date that banks will start processing these loans, although I know many of you have been having those conversations already in the last couple of days with your lenders, and encourage you to reach out to those and start that process if this is something that you're interested in. So let me just close by saying thank you so much for everything that you're doing, and we certainly appreciate all the notes of encouragement that you're sending to us, to Nicole and I here at the Chamber of Commerce. You know, we are a small business also, and so we're in this with you, and we are here for you. Thanks so much.